So let's take a signal x of t, and so this is our time axis. Time is going like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And let's say that I have a pulse like this, a triangular pulse. Could be anything. Okay, I'm just taking a triangular pulse, and let's say that its height is also 1. So now when I say x of 2t, okay, when I say x of 2t, I am introducing a factor with respect to t. Okay, so when time is equal to 1 unit, x of so 2t is going to become 2 units. When time is 1 unit, 2t become 2 units. So that means the way that argument is changing is very fast, right? So the argument of x of t is, here it is t, but when I do the transformation, it becomes 2t. Okay, when I multiply t with 2, so then it becomes 2t, and then when time goes to 1 unit, for x of t it was reaching the top, but for x of 2t what will happen is that since the argument is 2t, it will become 2 units. So x of 2 units. So what is x of 2 unit, which is basically here. So that means the arguments runs very faster compared to x of t. Okay, so this is 1 and this is 2. What will happen is it will just go to 1 and come quickly, and this amplitude does not change. So x of 2t, time is running in the same manner for both, but because the argument is now 2t, what is happening is that it speed up the changes. Okay, what used to happen in 2 units of time, now it happens in 1 unit of time. Okay, when t becomes half, 2 into half become 1, and therefore x of 1, whatever is x of 1, that will happen for here at say 0.5. So that is the case where a is greater than 2. Now if a is less than 2, what is going to happen? The opposite will happen. So here also you have 1, 2. So this is our time, and then x of t by 2. So if you are trying to evaluate this, what we are doing? So when you take t equal to 1, this expression is basically x of t equal to 1, x of half. What is x of half? X of half is this. So that I have to put in here. Okay, whatever is this value I have to put, which is basically half. Then I put t equal to 2. So if I put t equal to 2, then x of 2 by 2, which is x of 1. X of 1 is what? I have 1 here. So this is the point. Then I have x is equal to, t equal to 3. So x of 3 by 2, which is 1.5, and I look here x of what is x of 1.5, which is also half. And then I put t equal to 4. When I put t equal to 4, I will get basically x of 4 by 2, which is x of 2. X of 2 is what? 0. So I put 0 here, and then I connect all of this. I get like this. Is that clear now?
So when time is equal to 4, then
Yeah, when time in x of t minus 2, when time is equal to 4, so if you put if t is equal to 4, then the expression is x of
2.
2. And what is x of 2? X of 2 is to be found out from this graph, right?
Yes, sir.
That is 0. So at 4 I have to put 0. So in order to plot x of t by 2, you take different values of time, and then you will get x of some value. At that value you go in the initial graph and get the value. Same thing is here also. Here you can put t equal to say 0.5. So if you put t equal to 0.5 here if t is equal to 0.5, then you have x of 1, right? X of 1 you go here and you will get it as 1, which is equal to 1 from the first graph. So
Sir,
yes,
in the portion x equals to x of t by 2, sir.
correct.
Sir, when t equals to 2, suddenly we get x of 1.
Correct. So x of
Sir,
1 is what?
In vertical axis, so you have taken 1, sir, in there.
So x of 1, this is the plot of x of t. So x of 1 you have to find out from here, from the first graph. This is the plot of x of t.
First graph, sir.
Yeah, you have to go to first graph and get the value and put it here.
Yes, sir, yes.
So for the transformed signal, you give different values of time. And for each values of time, you are basically mapping it to the value of x of t. And you go to the x of t curve and find the value and put it in this graph. Both cases. So if you take here t equal to 0.5, so here it will become 2 into 0.5, which is 1. So it is x of 1. Now you go to the first graph, x of 1 is basically 1. So that is why 0.5 I am putting 1. So this is what it actually means. Physically, this is what it means when you do the scaling. So whatever is at 2 for it will go to 4 in that manner. Why? Because t by 2. Okay. So whenever
Yes, sir.
you
So
have
that means x2 is 0 in the first graph. That's why in t by 2 also it becomes the expression is 0.
yes. So if you take t equal to 0, this is x of 0 and x of 0 is 0. Yes. But if the graph was starting at somewhere, see another example, you take, let's say, so another x of t, and here I am starting at 1 and then 2, 3, 1 to 3 I am going, and this is just a square pulse like this, and say this is 1 or 2, whatever, doesn't matter. So this is our x of t. Now if I want to do the transformation, t to what you want, stretching or compressing?
So compression.
So that means 2t. Okay. So so here there is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So now we need to find out. So we are plotting x of 2t. So when t is equal to 0.5, so I am going to take t equal to 0.5. That means x of 2 into 0.5, x of 1. And what is x of 1? It goes to
0.
1. X of 1, it is going to 2, right? So x of
Yes,
1.
sir.
So this is happening at where? This is happening at t is equal to 0.5. So this is t is equal to 0.5. So it is going to 1. Okay, that is the transition. X of 1 is where the transition happens. That is why I have taken 0.5. If I take any point, like say 0.3 or 0.2, then 2 into 0.3 is only 0.6, and if I come 0.6 here, it is 0. So it will be all 0. To the left, everything will be 0. But at 0.5, I have a transition. Now let's take another time, t is equal to say 1. So I will have x of 2. X of 2 is what? Also 2, right?
2.
So x of 2 is also 2. So this is at 1 I am talking about. So that is also 2. Now let's take another point. T is equal to say 1.5. Then we will have x of
3.
2, x of 3. So x of 3, if you go, that is where I have the transition back. So 1.5 is a very important point. Here I have back transition. Anything greater than that, I will have 0. Anything less than that, I will have it 2. So this is what I will get.
So then basically we have done a compression of the signal.
Yes. So if you look at, we have reduced the width. What is the width here? The width here is basically 2 units.
Yes.
And the width here is only 1 unit. From 0.5 to 1.5. So it is 1 unit. Okay. So now I want to go back to the earlier example, if you remember. So we had this problem. If you can remember, there was I think somewhere minus 0.5 I had. So this is 1. Minus 1, minus 0.5, then 2, 3. So anybody remember the problem? From minus 0.5 onwards up to where it was? Up to 1.5 I think, right? Our earlier problem. Up to 1.5 I had it remaining at 1, and then what happened? It goes to 2. This was it, and then it comes back. So I think this was our problem. This was our x of t. So we had to find out. The question was to find x of minus t by 2 plus 3. Okay. So the procedure I adopted is first shifting. Step 1 was shifting. Then step 2 was what was it? That was scaling. Then step 3 was time scaling and time inversion. So this was the. Now the question is, can I do it in some other order? Okay, can I not follow this order? So you tell me what order you want, what you want to do, and then we will try accordingly. So can you tell me some order in which you would like to do the transformation from x of t to reach this is the order in which I followed. First shifting, then scaling, then inversion. Can you tell me some other order?
So can we do first scaling?
Okay, so step 1 you want scaling. So scaling means, so let me write it explicitly, x of t, you want to go to x of t by 2, right? This is what you mean? Okay, good. Then step 2, what do you want? Next step?
So inversion.
Inversion, okay. inversion. So inversion means x of t by 2 will go to x of minus t by 2.
Yes.
Okay, what do you want next?
So then shifting by 3 units.
There you go. So this is why I am telling you, you need to be careful. That's why I am doing the shifting first. Okay, you are saying if you shift it by 3 unit you will get, but you see, if you shift by 3 unit to the left, right, you mean
Yes, sir.
3 units to the left. So if you do this, you know what is going to happen? You are going to replace your t with t plus 3. So that means what actually you are going to do is this. This is a mistake which students make, and that's why I wanted to come back to this problem. And if you do this, what actually you are going to get is different. Okay.
So shifting is with respect to t.
Yeah. See, every operation, when I taught it that in the beginning, t is what the focus is. T is replaced with t plus 3. That is shifting, advancing the signal by 3 units to the left. It is t replacing with t plus 3, nothing else. Similarly, inversion means t with minus t. Scaling means t with at. Wherever t is there, that you need to replace with the modified variable. So if you do this, you see what you are getting is not what you want. Are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
So if I let me go here. What you are going to get, I will just write. So this, if I write down, this is basically x of minus t by 2 minus 3 by 2. This is what you are going to get. But this is not what we want. This is not same as x of minus t by 2 plus 3. Okay, even the sign is different, and it will be very different signal. But till before it was okay. What you said was okay. So what we need to do? So third step, you need to tell me carefully. Step 3. So this is wrong. So you need to tell what is the correct shift and which direction you need to shift. So what we have is, let me write, x of t by 2. This is what we have. This has to go to x of minus t by 2 plus 3. So how much should be the shift that you need to do? So you need to basically rearrange the term here. For example, if you take the LCM, then plus 6 by 2. Okay, I think there is a sign problem also.
Sir. Sir, what if we at first do
no, let's keep what you, let's stick to this, then after that we can. So what I want to do is basically, so this is t by 2 and then plus let me say 6 by 2. I can write like this, right? 3 I have written, 6 by 2, and then I'm just rearranging what I want. So this is what I want. Okay, this is the thing I want. So I'm writing it in such a manner so that I can find out how much I need to shift. So I can now write, so this minus I am taking outside, and then t minus 6. So if you compare this one with this, so now I can tell you that therefore we must shift right, not right, left. We must shift left by
6 units.
6 units. That is the correct shifting that is required to get our required expression. We must shift. So third step, we must shift the signal left by 6 units. So did I say left? No, not left. Right. Right. That means delaying. Shift right means, or you can say delay. Delay the signal by 6 units. If you do that, then T will be, so wherever T here, in this here, LHS, T is replaced with T minus 6, that is shifting right by 6 unit. And then if you solve it algebraically, then you can see that this is what you want. So this you need to be careful about. So this is a very common mistake, that is why I wanted. And similarly,
Sir,
yes.
sir, what if we have shifted by 8 units or 2 units?
If you have shifted by 2 units,
Yeah, 2 units or 8 units?
if you have shifted by 2 units or 8 units, to the left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So x of minus t by 2. So what you are saying is by 2 unit to the right, right? So t will go to t minus 2 if you are shifting to the right by 2 unit. So then it will happen x of minus t minus 2 divided by 2, which is basically x of minus t by 2, then what, plus 1. That is what happens. What we want is basically minus t by 2 plus 3. Then what you said?
8 units.
8 unit. So t will go to t minus 8. So that is t minus 8 by 2, which is basically x of minus t by 2 plus 4. Correct?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
will this work?
No, it will not work. What we wanted is what? This is not equal to. Both of these are not
Okay,
equal
plus
to.
3.
Yeah. What we want is plus 3. This is the question. So they are not equal. So therefore I have to say that both of these are wrong. So you need to be very careful. But all this problem can be avoided. You don't need to figure out how much I need to shift at last. This problem can be avoided. All you need to do is that you do the shifting first. X of t go to x. So that is what I did. So you do the shifting first. So you will get x of t going to x of t plus 3. And then x of t plus 3 goes to x of t by 2 plus 3. Then x of t by 2 plus 3 goes to x of minus t by 2 plus 3. No issue. But if you are not doing the shifting first, then you need to be careful. It's not that you cannot do it, but you need to figure out how much is the right amount of shift and which direction it is. So the amount of shift and the direction you need to figure out. So that the way to figure out is what I have shown here. So you look at here, okay, this region. Maybe it is not a good way of highlighting, so let me just take another. Okay, so this step you have to find out. So you see that I started with the answer here. This was what we wanted, and then I rearranged it in such a manner to get get the right amount of shift. So that you have to do. Clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
so shifting towards left is taken as negative or right? It's like,
So
so
there are two ways you can write. Okay, these are common questions. Okay, so I am not surprised that you ask such questions, because there is a lot
sir,
of,
that expression I was got confused.
yeah. So so say shifting operation, if you look at, so t is going to t minus tau. Okay, and then what I'm saying is that if you write like t minus tau, if tau is greater than 0, then we are shifting right
Right.
or delay. If tau is less than 0, then what happens? Say minus 3. Tau is less than 0. Example, minus 3. So t minus minus 3, t plus 3. Then shifting left.
Left. Yes.
Okay, and that is advancing.
Yes, sir. The expression t minus tau.
Yeah. So you can write both as t minus tau, and then say if tau is positive, it is right shift, tau is negative, it is left shift. Or you can say, if you have some specific values, then you can write t going to, say, t plus 3, this is left shift, and t going to t minus 3, this is right shift, by 3 units. If you have specific value, you can say like this. But if it is like a variable tau I am putting, then tau can take either positive or negative value. Then accordingly you have to decide whether it is left shift or right shift.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Other questions? Any question more? Now mathematically you can do the problem, above problem. Okay, the same problem you can do it mathematically. You write the expression for x of t. Okay, so let me try to do that. It may be slightly, but you don't need to bother about what you need to do first, etc. in such cases. That is the advantage of it. But little bit work you need to do. So graphical method, you don't need much work. You can, only thing is you need to be careful. So here it is 1 from minus 0.75 to 1.5, less than t less than 1.5, and then I need the equation of this line. I need the equation of this line. So for that, so it has some negative y-intercept, it looks like. To figure out that line, I need to have coordinates here. So this coordinate is 1.51 and this coordinate is 2, 2. So from that I need to figure out the expression. So this is between 1.5 to 2. So from 1.5, so let me put t to 2. What should be the expression here? I need to figure out. So it is so just like I told you earlier. So let me just write it here for convenience. X minus x1. What is x1? x1 is 1 by x2. x2 is 2 minus x1 is equal to t minus t1 1.5 by t2, that is 2 minus T1 1.5. So this if you simplify, what you will get is x minus 1 is equal to 2 minus 1.5, you will get 0.5, that is divided by 0.5, so you can say 2 into t minus 1.5. So if you can expand this, then it is 2t minus 3 by 2 into 2, so that is 3. So therefore x is equal to 2t plus 2, sorry, minus 2, right? 2t minus 2 minus 1, if you take to the other side, it will become plus 1, minus 3 plus 1, that is minus 2. So this is the expression. So you can see that it has a y-intercept minus 2 and x-intercept is slope is 2. So let's just see, slope is 2. In half unit it is jumping by 1, so slope is 2. Then y-intercept is minus 2. Oh, it doesn't look like, from my drawing it doesn't look like that, but okay. So another way we can verify is just put in the value for t equal to 1.5, t equal to 1.5. If you put 1.5 means 3 by 2, so 3 minus 2, that is 1, correct? And then t equal to 2, if you put t equal to 2, that is 2 into 2, 4 minus 2, that is 2. So we can it satisfies both points, so that is good enough. So you can write it as 2t minus 2 and then 0 elsewhere. So this is the mathematical method. Now all the transformation at a time together you can do, because mathematically you can write this expression, just replace t with minus t by 2 plus 3. So 1 will remain as 1 minus 0.75. Now instead of t I will have minus t by 2 plus 3 less than or equal to 1.5. Then 2 into minus t by 2 plus 3 minus 2 and 1.5 less than minus t by 2. This is what I said, you need to do some work here to rearrange it. Otherwise you don't need, if you do all the algebra correctly, you will get it. So you can follow any of this method. Okay, so this is equal to 1. Now what we need to do, first we need to do step by step 3 operations. First is subtracting 3 from everywhere, so that will remove this. So this will be minus 3.75 less than minus t by 2 less than or equal to, if you subtract 3 you will get minus 1.5, and then here we have to do minus t, multiply with 2 minus t, and then plus 6, multiply 2 into 3, that is 6, then there is a minus 2, so 6 minus 2, that is 4. Okay, is that correct? Cancel, minus t, and then 2 into 3, 6, minus 2, 4. I think it is correct. Again, if there is any mistake, please let me know. Then again subtract Yeah, I think I missed it out. Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, again subtract 3 here. So I will go to minus 1.5 less than minus t by 2 less than, so 2 minus 3, that is minus 1, 0 elsewhere. Okay, so let me just copy this. So a lot of algebra is involved, not so much. Okay, so this is our expression. What is this expression? X of minus t by 2 plus 3 after replacing t. So now next step of simplification is 1. So let's do both simultaneously. Multiply with minus 2. So that will make minus t by 2 to become t. Multiply with minus 2. So this will become minus 3.75 into 2. So that is 7.5. Okay, what I am doing? Multiplying. So from here to here, I am doing multiplying with minus 2. So minus 2 into minus 3.75, it is 7.5, and because minus is involved, less than become greater than, and this become t, and then less than or equal to become greater than or equal to, and then this is going to become minus 1.5 into 2, that is 3. Then here it is same, no change, and here it will become 3 greater than t greater than minus 1 into minus 2, so that is 2, and 0 elsewhere. So we got the expression. So finally now everything is expressed in terms of t. So now we can directly draw this, and we should get the same result that we got before. So this is x of minus t by 2 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here 1, 2. Alright, so it is 1 for some duration from 3 to 7.5. So this is 3 and 7.5 is here. So here it is 1. Okay, it is 1. And then we have an equation of line from 2 to 3. So between this is 2. So if you put so you have two range, right? You have the left is 3 and here it is 2. So if you put 2, what will happen? Minus 2 plus 4. Minus 2 plus 4 is 2. So at 2 it has to be 2. And then if you put 3 here, it is minus 3 plus 4, which is 1. So this. So it is basically equation of this line. So if you have 2 points, you can just join these 2 points, and therefore our answer is this. Is it what we got earlier? Anybody remember? I have it. I think we got after the reflection we got it like this. So these are two different ways in which you can perform. Okay. So that is about the different mathematical operations. So now quickly let me go into the other kind of operations that we can perform on signal. So far we are performing operations on the independent axis. So now next is operations on dependent variable. Okay, so signal is basically a function of time in this course. So 1D signal, so one independent variable, and we have seen that 3 different kinds of transformation we can do on the independent variable. Example, I will just take directly examples. So I have x of t, I want to multiply it with the x of t, a constant. So what it will do, I have say some example, let me take. So like this. So this is my x of t, 0, and this is say this is equal to 1, and here it is, say let's take it 1. And so after performing this ax of t, let me take some value for a equal to 2. Then what will happen? I don't even touch the independent axis, so that goes from 0 to 1 like before, no change at all. But now here I am playing with the independent, so here it is 1. After multiplying with 2, I will have a change like this. Okay, so this is what we call as amplification. This is what we are. So in amplification, the x is kept sacred. That means we don't touch the independent variable. So this is amplification if a is greater than 1. Okay. If a is less than 1, what we call it? It is called attenuation. The signal is attenuated. So if a is less than 1 but greater than 0, then we call attenuation. Okay, this is a typical ECE word. You may not find it in other contexts. Attenuation, attenuating signal, is the opposite of amplifying signal. Now a can be negative also. So if another case, if a is less than 0 but magnitude of a is greater than 1, so then what we will do, then it is called then amplification with inversion. This is not time inversion, don't confuse. So to specify it, so amplitude inversion. Okay, so example, so you have a, let me take one cycle of signal here. Say it is -1 and this is +1 and this is say some tau, and this is my x of t. As I told you, I don't touch the time axis. Okay, so this is actually the shape is same, but the way I have drawn it looks like my shape is distorted, but that is because of my drawing. I don't meant to change the shape. Okay, so this is say -2 into x of t. So this is 1, so no, this is 2, and this is minus 2. So earlier it is from minus 1 to plus 1. So first you have a positive cycle, but here you have first negative cycle, but the amplitude is larger. So whatever was on the positive side, it goes to the negative side, but this is the reflection with respect to the time axis. Okay, earlier we have seen inversion with respect to. Now in this way you can modify the amplitude in so many different ways. So you can have square. Another example, same signal, let me just do x square of t. Again, the 0 to tau, the signal will vary. Now what will happen is like this. I have squared it. So positive cycle I have squared it, negative cycle also I have squared it, so both became positive. And in fact square of 1 is 1, so the amplitude should not go beyond 1. Okay, so if this is 1, so that much only it will go. Okay, so that is just, and similarly so many different things you can think about, so many different as cube, 2x plus 3, all these things different. So there is an endless number of amplitude transformations that are possible. One more I will show, modulus x of t, modulus. So what will happen? Same x of t, so this is 1, this is minus 1. First half cycle as such, second half cycle just invert it. So this is our term. Okay, there is no squaring, so shape is preserved, but when you square, shape will change. So here only taking negative to become positive. So this way there is endless number of amplitude transformation that are possible. Okay, so signal transformation you can classify like this into two categories. One is transformation with respect to time. That is more important to understand, because that is not very we are not used to that normally. But amplitude transformation, the time axis is kept sacred, we don't touch it, but amplitudes are varied. Alright, so that's kind of end of this topic. You can have so many more amplitude transformation, maybe sine of x of t, all kinds of function. You can make x of t as an argument of a endless number of functions and have amplitude transform, but the time axis where the signal is defined, that will continue to remain the same. Okay, you will, if you have signal only from 0 to tau, outside if it is 0, then for the transformed signal also it has to match with that kind of variation. Alright, so let me stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave if you have given your attendance. Don't give attendance multiple times, only one time.
Sir,
Yeah.
can I ask a doubt related to yesterday's lab class, sir?
Okay. Yes.
Sir, regarding, sir, in capacitor part, sir, the graph with which you plotted in the simulation.
Yeah.
So there, initially, sir, the value of the voltage is increasing, means the capacitor
Okay. So let me just go.
is opposing the AC source, sir. What is the reason for that, sir? As far as capacitive reactance is concerned, it should not block.
You are
AC
talking about
current.
this one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So without changing component, also you can take this voltage. So I had some confusion regarding that yesterday, but later I found it out. Okay. So let us run this. let me keep this into side by side. Okay, so first let me plot this one. I don't want this face, so I remove the face, and I want this axis to be linear, okay, so that it will be from 0 to 1 like this. Now you are talking about capacity. So to get the capacity voltage from the same curve, what you need to do is you bring the cursor. When there is a symbol change like this, the probe comes, you left click, okay, keep it pressed, and then go to the other side of capacitor until this new symbol change comes, right? There's a black symbol that is coming from white probe. When it comes, you release the button. When it comes, you release the button, you will get the capacitor voltage. So basically we are changing voltage at this point minus voltage at this point. So you can see that V of node 1 comma node 2 means V of N1 node minus V of N2 node. So this way you can plot it, okay? So you don't need to rearrange the circuit again to get the voltage. So now what is your question?
Sir, and initially, sir, the voltage of across capacitor is 1 volt, sir. As the frequency is increasing in here.
No. Capacitor volt. Yeah. This is what you are saying, right? Initially it is 1.
Yes.
Correct. It is going to 0. Yes, correct.
So then, thereby with increasing frequency, its voltage drop across capacitor is decreasing.
Correct. Because
So
you
then,
see the reactance of capacitance is 1 by omega c, right?
Yes, sir.
So when omega is 0, what happens? Or very small. You
Omega
have huge
is-
impedance, right?
Yes, sir.
Huge impedance means, so there are 3 things connected in series. One of them has very huge impedance relative to the other 2. So all the voltage that is applied will get dropped across that huge impedance. So very low frequency, this is almost like short circuit. So no resistance, say 1 ohm, or this is only 10 ohm, but here this may be something like 10,000 ohms. You can find out the actual value. The actual value is say 1 by omega c. Omega is 1 hertz here, so 2 pi. 1 hertz means omega equal to 2 pi. So omega into c, that is 1 milli. So 2 pi into 1 milli. So 1 by of that, 1 by 2 pi into 1 milli. So that is like 159 ohms, right? 159 ohms. So that is what we have here also. So 159 ohm compared to 10 is very negligible. So you can almost neglect 10, and inductor impedance is going to be much negligible because it is omega L. So 6.8 into 1 milli. So that is much less than 1 ohm. So that you don't need to take. 10 ohm is also negligible compared to 159. So all the applied voltage will be coming across the capacitor.
So at the resonance frequency, the resistance offered by all these 3 circuits is maximum.
Repeat the question. At the resonance frequency?
Yes, sir. The resistance offered by all these 3 components will be maximum, sir.
There is a catch there. Actually, we have to talk about the impedance. So impedance offered by capacitor is negative. Impedance offered by inductor is positive. So what is happening is that at resonant frequency, the total impedance is going to be 10 ohm. Though individually the reactance is very large, okay, but they will cancel each other. In the inductance and capacitor impedance, they will cancel each other because one is positive and the other is negative.
So then we are left with only a resistor.
Then we have only left with the resistance. So this is the current, okay, by
Yes.
clicking on this. So current is maximum there. Why? Because the impedance of the capacitor and impedance of the resistance is cancelled, and it is only 10 ohm, and you see I have applied 1 volt. 1 volt divided by 10 ohm is how much? 0.1 ampere.
0.1, yes.
Yeah, so the current is basically 0.1 ampere. That is a
Sir.
peak current. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, and one more doubt, sir. When I try to replace the voltage source by current source, then the
That is for
I
parallel. Okay.
Okay.
Not here.
So
Don't replace it here. You put
Yes,
it
sir.
in parallel. RLC. I told you the second part of this experiment is parallel RLC circuit, which you need to excite with the current source.
some kind of very different plot I got, sir.
Yeah, there will be difference. But you need to interpret it. Once you understand this, you can go to that. Another thing you can do, which I did not tell you, is change the value from, say, 10 to 1. Resistance I have reduced. Rerun it. Okay. What is happening?
Resistance.
So you have this is called Q factor.
Quality factor.
Yeah, quality factor. So you are increasing the quality factor. You can see that there is a sharp peaking. Earlier the peak was very flat, right? So it was a gradual change, but now you see that there is a sharp peaking. So at particular frequency you have very large current coming, and the current is now 1 ampere.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So again the cancellation happens at the resonant frequency, but the current value is now magnified.
So that VN003 is with respect to capacitor.
Capacitor is the the blue curve.
Blue curve.
Yeah. This is basically voltage. What we are plotting by blue curve is basically voltage across the capacitor, and the green one is voltage across the inductor, and voltage across the resistor as well as the current through the resistor has this shape. Okay,
Sir,
since
voltage-
the resistance is 1 ohm,
Yes.
current and voltage will be same, right? Ohm's law.
Sir, here we are applying 1 volt AC source,
Yes.
and so but across the inductor it is crossing 1.1 volts.
Yes, correct.
Sir, what is the reason, sir? In that? So I could not catch the points.
That is basically the resonance. So in resonance what happens is that much energy is sucked into this from the source. Large amount of energy is sucked at the resonant frequency into the capacitor and inductor, and the capacitor and inductor are basically oscillating. If you look at the time response and all, if you look at it will oscillate. So sometimes capacitor will store in electric field the energy, and then it will release to the inductor. Inductor will store the energy in magnetic field, and then it will go back and forth. So because this is an AC wave, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Certainly, inductor
So
some
you-
amount of charge will be stored in there. Then it might
Yeah,
release
yeah.
the flux,
Correct,
which
correct.
turn increase the voltage, sir.
yeah, but there is a phase difference between the two. There is a 180-degree phase difference between the energy storage. So you can plot the waveform also. In order to plot the waveform, you have to do a different analysis. So you go to this 159.24 hertz. So this is another analysis. So what I will do is, instead of giving AC analysis, you do transient analysis. So in transient analysis you can give stop time. Stop time should be decided according to the number of cycles you want to see. So our frequency is 159 hertz, and then if you take the inverse of that, you will get the time period. So let me calculate. 1 divided by 159.24, so that is how much? 1 divided by 159.24, so that is 0.006. Now if I want 5 cycles to be seen into 5, so if I give the stop time to be 31 millisecond, then I can see 31 millisecond. If I do, I can see 5 cycles, and then then maximum time step, so this will be some 0.01 millisecond. Okay, so I am now doing the transient analysis. So here our AC input is just 1 volt, but now we are going to look at the voltage across the inductor. It will be greater than 1 volt. Yeah. So initially some transient is there. So this you will learn in network theory. But you can see that approximately it is going beyond 1 volt.
Yes, sir. It's a bit fluctuation.
No, this is the sine wave. But why it is not 5 cycle, I am thinking. Yeah? Did I miss out the calculation? Okay, I need to, okay, I am not giving 159. Okay, to see that amplification, not really amplification, that energy storage, I have to change this to 159. 159.24. So now I am going to see what I told you. 5 cycles I will see, and the amplitude will be much greater than 1 volt. It is only going up to 1 volt. Okay, so I have roughly 5 cycles. So initially there is a transient. You will learn about this in the network theory class. But then it goes to 1 volt. Now if I see, let me see the capacitor voltage also. So there is a 180 degree phase shift. Now let me see the resistance. That is somewhere in between. So you can see 3 voltages. Okay, resistance, capacitance and inductor. They are all 90 degree phase shift. So resistance one is the red one, which is the middle one, and then capacitor is basically capacitor voltage is lagging by 90 degree with respect to the resistance voltage, and inductor voltage is leading. So this is like shifted version which we just learned. So
Yes, sir.
90 degree, yeah, 90 degree shifting. Okay, so these are all voltages. So usually capacitor current leads by 90 degree with its voltage, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let me change this frequency slightly, maybe to the left. Say let me make it some 130. Then see what happens. Yeah, so this is what you were telling. You saw some increase in the voltage.